back to the Gadget Spot.
Hello, hello.
Hey there.
Day bow bow. Ooh, yeah.
No, see, this is the second intro we're doing because we didn't like the first time that you did
But
that.
the second one was even better.
Yeah, this one was more awkward, so it fits.
Yeah.
It broke the threshold.
If you guys don't know, I just broke the internet with that.
I'm just going to start doing this show by myself. You guys are terrible.
You can just pretend to be us.
In a good way.
Wouldn't be the only
Pretty
thing
good
you do
with
by
voices.
yourself, am I right, Fives?
Oh, yeah. I don't even know why I
Because
fired that,
no
but I
one
wanted to
loves
belong.
Oh. Just kidding.
Now a Zoidberg impersonation.
I never ditched you guys. You're my Gadget Spot.
Until it's
We
over.
collectively are your Gadget Spot.
Yeah, we're all the Gadget Spot.
Yep.
Until it's over and then you kick us out.
Well, you guys usually leave on your own accord.
I linger because I'm sad.
You know what I noticed we didn't do?
What's that?
I thought we were going to start a new tradition of playing Super Smash Brothers every time we come over.
Yeah, we
before
should
start
have.
Well, the
recording.
last time we tried it, people were like, I got too much to do.
Jarron shamed us with all of his winning.
Oh,
And then,
please. I beat Jarron twice.
No,
maybe it's just because I lost
I
so
like
much.
Owen's memory a lot better.
Yeah. I think
Like-
I just remember losing a lot.
Well,
Yeah, that part is true.
that
I
part is
I
true.
had to play Mr. Scratch and Sniff?
No, Game &
Mr.
Watch.
Game and There it is.
Scratch
Game and Watch. Sorry.
I was like, I'm so dumb. I was like, who is that character? Like, I don't remember.
Well, he's pretty obscure
He had a big frying pan.
if you didn't have an old Game & Watch.
I think
back
I
in
won the
day.
first game and the last game, and that's all Owen remembers.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like
Yeah.
No, I won the
everybody.
last game because you were so angry when we ended.
Oh, yeah, I was angry Jarron.
You won the second to last game.
You know why I like how we're talking about Super Smash Brothers so much is
Why?
because I feel like that's going to be the theme of our show today.
Smash Brothers?
Games.
Game.
Oh.
Wow, I did not follow that at all.
How did I
I was
get
hoping
there?
to like maybe you are.
How did I get there?
Segue right past the introduction
It
and
was
the
pretty
emails.
good. Yeah. You're getting a little ahead of us, but it's all right. You had a good heart.
He's holding his head down and
You
shit.
had
Yeah.
your intentions were in the right place. You know, we love you. We love you, buddy. It's okay.
It's funny how many times a day people say that to me. Like, it's okay.
Do
I
you
love
start
you.
getting
love
suspicious
you.
eventually?
I just have this face, this vulnerable, low-cheeked face that people just open up to me, tell me
Wow.
secrets,
You
and
do
then
have
feel
a
bad for me.
low-cheeked face, like
Right?
my son.
Dad?
Son?
I'm just kidding. I don't have the hairline.
I would love to see
Your
what,
parents.
what you look like fat.
You're looking at her right now.
Why would you say
face.
that?
I think
Why
it
would
would just
you-
be really
Why
funny.
would you wish that on me? All right, let's.
I think his
We're gonna
face would be
give you-
exactly the same. It's just
We'll
it'd
just give the
flow down
internet-
to the rest of his body.
We'll give the internet his picture, and they can handle it from
They
there.
can make it.
Reddit
Hey,
will do that for you.
You guys are talking about me, James. If you want to find me, I'm on Twitter at JDD Jensen. JDD is for ADD. Go to my website, shizyouwant.com.
That's your website?
That's my website.
I saw that today.
See, when you
Mm.
sent me that link, I was like kind of wary about it. I
Oh
thought-
yeah, no, it looks like something straight out of the '90s that the Nigerian prince would say.
Yeah.
I think that's why I liked
It's
it.
100% legitimate. Soon, all the merchandise that you can find on there will be on Amazon, and Apple Pay is going to be coming in Q4 of 2016.
Will there
Um,
ever be Gadget Spot merch?
Yeah, well, we're looking into that right now.
Heck yeah, we are.
On there right now, you can find all the Geek Show merchandise. I got some fit stuff that I really like that I'm going to be loading up hopefully later on this week, including a what is that, pre-workout supplement. I'm going to be including a lot of, I mean, it's stuff that I've tried, I've tested, and I really, really like it. And I got into contact with the
Distributors.
distributor, and they're going to be selling it
Yes.
wholesale through the website. So if you got a free minute, go to shizyouwant.com.
You can scroll down.
He has enough content to scroll down.
He just,
When
he
you
just
go
thought
to
it,
the
he just thought it was
site-
a picture of a field of wheat.
Yeah, when you go to the site, it doesn't look like you can scroll down, but
Poor
when you
Jared.
scroll down, it scrolls down.
Jaron sees it and he's like, wheat. Oh,
I don't want that.
It's
I
still
hate
a work in
gluten-free.
progress, but I'm updating
That was
it
a
all
gluten
the
joke.
time.
I got that.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, go to the website and poke around, and if you guys have any suggestions, just shoot me a tweet.
Thanks, James.
Shiz, period.
Let's
you
move-
want.
That was a good segue into
Shiz you want.
a good segue into the intros there. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
You made up for the last one.
Moving along to Jarron.
Jarron, I'm Jarron at Jarron, Jarron.
Nice. Way to follow that up with a spelling.
Yeah. So my friend sent me a picture of me on a program from years ago, and someone called me Darum. I think
You
Darum.
on a program, like physically on top of a program, or
He was standing on a
Yes.
Windows 95 box.
a floppy disk?
Program.
It was great.
That reference.
Is that all you got?
Yeah.
He wasn't happy with that joke.
I got
No.
that reference.
Look at you in your anchored shirt in your face.
I have anchors on my shirt. I like it.
All right, Owen.
I'm going to try and compose myself moving right along here from Jarron. You can follow me on Twitter at TechNoan. I tweet as often as I think about it, which is
Twice a month.
Wait. So you think twice a month?
You're a lurker,
as much,
right?
Yeah, I follow.
You like reading
I
stuff.
I watch people, and then when something is entertaining, I'll respond.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then well, that's not my fault that you're not entertaining.
watch people.
Snap.
Do you follow me
So,
on Twitter?
I think I do recently.
Good.
I became one of your
I don't think you
20 million
follow-
followers.
Don't
or-
worry about it.
Yeah, you
Okay.
don't follow me
Anyway.
or
Did
Owen.
some cool once,
That's-
and then now not anymore.
Yeah, you say that
Yeah.
every
Just
week.
kidding.
Yep.
I do
One
cool
day we'll
stuff,
dig
though.
that story out with a rusty hook.
I think we know what that story is, and it's shameful.
Okay, Bobo.
All right.
All right.
And I am your host, Tony. Check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony, or check me out on the Geek Show podcast.
You're a joke assassin on that show. I've
try-
heard you described like that.
I try to be a joke assassin because you don't want to talk over people, but when you see a good joke, you just got to go for it.
Sometimes you just got to dive in.
You made a joke once about whale weenie, calling it driftwood, and I lost it.
Yeah.
That's-
I remember my
that sounds
driftwood
pretty
joke.
good.
That was a
sounds
good
pretty
one.
Funny.
I like how you don't know what the joke is, but you're like, it sounds like it was funny.
I
Yeah,
need to watch that
Driftwood.
just so I can
That sounds,
see
that
the.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
That's
the
good.
punchline. It's gold.
Yep.
I want to watch that show. It's just like watch the video just so I can see when you're ignored. Because I think that's my. I think
it
that'd be
happens
very
quite a
hilarious.
bit.
Yeah. Like
It's-
high five. Anybody?
Probably
No?
a good
Okay, taking it back.
30 to 50% of my jokes
Go unlanded.
go unlanded
Well,
by any of the panelists.
It's because of where you sit. Like everybody sits across from each other, and they only look like this, right?
Yeah.
But like where
I can see
you
that.
sit, you
I'm at
sit
the
kind of
kids-
behind a computer.
I'm at the kids' table. I'm so
You
it,
got the
it would
soundboard
actually
and everything.
yeah, I have the soundboard and the laptop and everything. So it looks like I'm at the head of the table. So you have two people sitting across from each other, two people sitting across from each other, and then me at the top.
but it's
of
an
the table.
island where you sit.
But yeah, so
He is an island.
Tony is an island.
I am an
yeah.
island
He's stoic.
full of sniping jokes. That's it. Let's move on to the show.
Email.
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
So we got an email from the Mac Jezza. Jizza?
The Mac
Which,
Jizza.
by
Mac
the
Jez-
way,
Mac Jizz?
this guy is awesome.
Is he?
The amount of stuff that he does, like to help with this circle of podcasts that we do, is amazing.
We
Thank
love
you
you.
so much, Patrick. You're the bomb.
His name is Patrick. Anyway, his subject line also ... James ... I don't understand that.
Do you know what that means, James? ...
James ...
Is he about to kill you or something?
I hope not.
Oh,
After I just praised him, that'd be kind of funny.
yeah, it would be.
But
Ironic.
it's not unlike my first set of parents, so go ahead.
Oh,
I'm
making
just-
the
I'm just
old-
kidding. I'm
making
just
the-
kidding to my mom.
making your own
She's awesome.
adoption jokes. All right, go into the email. Hey guys,
Orphans.
good joke. You are a joke assassin. Hey guys, longtime Geek Show fan, but still early Gadget Spot listener.
Yeah.
Just like
Welcome. We love you. I only started listening about a month ago, and immediately you've made my top 10 favorite podcasts to listen to.
Boom.
Woo!
Yes.
I live in North Carolina and hopefully can visit SLC soon. If you do, and we're recording, come on over. Wait, am I allowed to invite him? Maybe not. Yeah, get
this
permission
is-
from Tony.
This is my house, and I have to get permission from my wife.
At the very least,
Bring your own
if he
stuff.
does come to Salt Lake, we should take him out to lunch.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
For show.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I love tech and video games. So do we. I currently am getting my associate's degree in graphic design. And
Nice.
in my spare time, I make YouTube graphics for various channels. Wink, wink.
He does it for the Geek Show, and it's awesome. If any reason you needed to go to the Geek Show YouTube page, it's to check out the thumbnails. He throws like awesome Easter eggs into each one of the pictures, and he's really good.
My question is for the entire panel. Who do you think had the better press conference / presentation? Sony, Xbox, or Apple?
That is a timely question.
Considering WWDC
That's
and
a good
E3
question.
were occurring parallel to one another.
Yeah. And that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
So I think we should all answer this question just really quickly.
Just real quick, and then
Yeah.
we'll
Super
go
quick.
into
Yeah,
them.
yeah. So my opinion, I think Xbox.
Boom. I
I
agree
agree.
100%.
Yep. I
Seeing
was on
I'm
board with that.
equal with Xbox and PlayStation because
did
I
have a
thought
live
PlayStation
symphony,
did
right?
good, but I hated Nintendo's.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Given
we'll go
that I
into
know that they have the
We'll
treehouse,
go-
yeah, we'll talk
go
about it.
into that.
And WWDC it's getting so boring. They need to cut it down by a whole hour.
At
There was like
least.
1 hour of good content, and the rest was like them dancing on stage or
Is
whatever.
it that bad, or is it the culture that we live in that we need like?
It's bad.
Just like that.
Just like that.
I'm across from him, and I can feel that on my face.
Wow.
I hope all of you listeners write in and be like, "Dang it, Tony."
That's disgusting.
That is offensive. All right. Moving on with the email.
You did
Just sharing my true feelings about that WWDC. It was poop.
By the way,
It wasn't
yeah.
poop. There was good stuff in there. It was just too long.
The first half hour was good. After that, it got
No, it was the
boring.
second half hour that
Oh,
was
okay.
good.
All right.
That part was good. But they spent way too long on messages and Apple Music. It was kind of hard. Anyway, moving on. Thank you guys for being insightful. Ugh. Right as I say that he's right. He says we're insightful, and you make a fart noise. Is that?
Oh,
is
I
that
was
what
making
happens?
it towards Tony. I was about to just say thank you for writing in, Patrick. You're the bomb.
Let it be known that fart noise was not me.
It was James.
All right.
James. Thank you guys for being insightful and all having very enjoyable voices to listen to on my commute. Thank you. I've been really self-conscious about my voice lately.
As you should be.
My voice is much higher than everyone else's. But you saying that has given me the confidence I need. Hey, stop high-fiving.
Represent the lollipop king, the lollipop king,
I
the
see.
lollipop king.
I can't hear Jarron when you're in that pitch. You wash him out completely.
Completely bad.
That's noise cancellation right there. P.S. Hopefully we can get some Gadget Spot swag soon. I agree.
Yes.
Actually, I was going to write you. So as you're hearing this, you're going to get a Facebook thing from me.
P.P.S. If James didn't already show you, check the attached photo. It's not porn, I promise.
Good.
Sincerely, the Mac Jezza.
Thank you for
I
not
hope I'm
sending-
saying that right.
I think it's the Mac Giza,
Mac
but I'm
Giza?
not 100%
That
sure.
sounds
Well, there's two
Sounds
Z's,
good.
so who knows?
Eh.
Anyway, the logo he sends awesome. It's like G Spot in the style of MTV.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll post it on Facebook on our Facebook page. So
See, had
everyone
he
can see.
named that file G-Spot, then I would have been like, that's porn.
totally.
Yeah. So we'll post that on our Facebook page so everyone can
All right.
look at the awesomeness.
Cool. Thanks for writing in, Patrick. Glad you enjoy the show. All right, let's head into some of the E3 news because we got a grundle of E3 news.
Grundle?
A whole dang grundle. So on the last episode, we covered Microsoft, Bethesda, EA. I think just those three because that's all that had happened when we recorded. So,
Yeah, we only did Xbox, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So,
just Xbox.
so today we're going to talk about Sony's press conference and announcements. We're going to talk about Nintendo's press conference and announcements, and we're going to talk about Ubisoft's press conferences and announcements. Did I miss anyone?
I was just going to talk about the games. I didn't remember
yeah.
who the developers were,
Yeah.
but
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if you watched all the press conferences, you saw all the games.
yeah.
So
Well, let's do Nintendo.
you want to start with Nintendo?
Get
Yeah,
that
they're-
over with.
They're
All
easy.
right. Yeah, that I love my Nintendo. I love Zelda. I love Mario, but that press conference was
Well,
kind of a fart
How
noise.
Yeah.
how into Let's Play games are you guys? Because I feel like the amount of likability that you have for Let's Play, you will like the Nintendo because that's all they did.
It
was
was.
like a Let's
Yeah.
Play of Pokemon. I
Yeah.
know. I tweeted. I was so mad. I tweeted multiple times during the Nintendo press
I'm
conference.
sure they heard you.
Like I know. Well, I looked up the hashtag Nintendo E3, and everybody was saying the same thing. They were all saying, "I know how to play Pokemon. I
Yeah.
get it. Why are we still focused on this?
Didn't
It's
they-
boring."
and especially Pokemon because that game has not changed in 15 years.
Why has that? Can we talk
You know?
about maybe what we should talk about is why hasn't that game come to console?
Nobody knows. The only time it's
That's
come,
why I've never played it.
the only time it's come to console is in variations like Pokemon Snap, the Poke 10 or whatever it's called.
Oh, I have no idea.
It's the it was made by the Tekken developers. It's the Pokemon fighting game.
Oh, and Pokemon
Oh,
Stadium
right.
and
back in the day.
And Pokemon Stadium. That's off the top of my head. Those are the only Pokemon console games I can think of. But it's always been a handheld game.
It drives their handheld. It drives their
Oh, yeah.
handheld business.
It-
That's how they do it.
Well,
it is
yeah.
it is the Mario of the handheld business.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
And-
agree.
and for
Yeah.
good reason. If
but
you like,
Mario is on handhelds.
yeah, but it
Mario
doesn't-
drives their console.
Yes, exactly.
Ugh.
Now, if you like that style of game where it's kind of a RPG slash, if you're going to eat those, they are really crunchy. So you're going to hear it in the microphone.
No, you're not. It's
You
not. That's
caught
not
him
He'll
mid-grin,
suck on it.
reaching into the cheesy. There,
told you.
There it is.
What did I tell you? Okay. Anyway, so the thing with Pokemon games is seriously, since the first one came out, they haven't changed a whole ton. They've added a buttload of more Pokemons, and like you can evolve the Pokemons, but the core gameplay mechanics have stayed the same since the beginning. Travel the world, battle wild Pokemons to try and collect them, battle other trainers to beat them and gain experience, level up your Pokemon, and become the number one trainer.
Which is,
whatever.
it's always a good game, and they always have really good stories.
And
but
that's
it's
no,
same...
the stories are not that.
It's
good.
infinitely
What are you talking
scalable.
about? It's so good.
That's like
But
infinitely scalable.
it
is.
is.
All they have to do is put another horn on this Pokemon, and
Right.
now it's an ultra upgraded. Blah 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 blah.
Exactly.
There's no skill in design there.
And I'm not saying I don't know if I agree with that statement completely, but it's one of those things where they can just make a new one every other year or whatever, and they're going to get everyone plus a couple new people every time. It's like a guaranteed money maker.
Yeah. It's moving. The people that started it, like when it started coming out, they're getting older now, and they play it nostalgically. But kids,
They still play it.
my
every,
kids,
However,
They
my
eat
kids,
it up.
my kids want, and that's the thing is that my kids can start at the first game, and they want it, and then I have to buy all of the versions because they're
Well,
all the same.
And what they don't understand is you're playing the same game over and over again.
just new
however,
Pokemon.
that being said, they do have Pokemon Go that's going to be coming out
Okay,
here
so
pretty quick.
that's unique and different because it uses your smartphones and real-world locations.
What is the game, or it's the developers that are helping to do this? What's the game called that it's based on, that it's based from?
Pokemon.
No. It's on your
its
phone
own.
right now, and there's two different factions. There's like a light blue and a light
I
green.
can't remember
what that's called.
What that game is called.
I'll
but,
look it up.
It's similar in that it's kind of an augmented reality title where you use your phone in specific locations around your city or whatever, and when you get there, you can fight other teams on your phone. So you actually have to be physically present to participate in these fights. And it's the same kind of thing with Pokemon Go. If you want to go capture, you'll get an alert that says there's a Pokemon in Sandy at
Like a
such and such.
geolocation.
Yeah, like a geocache
Oh,
kind of a
wow.
game. You have to go to that location, and with your phone, the Pokemon will show up there, and you can see
Ingress is the game.
it. Ingress, okay, and you can capture that Pokemon in that location.
That's
but if
pretty
you
cool.
don't go to location, you can't capture the Pokemon. It is kind of neat.
My
Trying to get
future
gamers to go
kids-
outside, though.
My future kids will never have that. We'll have to take
'Cause
them
you
to
don't
soccer
wanna-
practice
yeah.
and then take them to get their Pokemon. That sounds ridiculous.
Or you hack that system. That'd be great to put a geocache in like the middle of a stadium in a game.
And it's absolutely nothing.
And then like people have to rush the field to catch that one-time rare Pokemon. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Social civil disobedience.
There you go.
With
Anarchy
Pokemon.
through Pokemon.
Dang right.
And I really think that concerning what you said, Jarron, it's not going to be for the kids. It is geared towards the people that played Pokemon Red and Blue and are now, you know, 25-year-old people,
Yeah.
30-year-old people
That can drive.
that can drive themselves places and go get it.
But there will also be a lot of the I want to go to the park and catch
yeah.
this Pokemon.
For sure. So
That's when you just hold them in under the bathtub for a little while. It's fine.
Oh,
Start over.
Whoa, never have children.
No more bubbles? Good.
Are you, if you say just look at the flowers, I'm turning this podcast off.
What does that mean?
You don't know what that reference
Ooh,
is?
Walking Dead reference.
Walking Dead, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, geez. Spoiler
That-
alert.
You won't know.
I don't watch Walking Dead. It's too far-fetched.
So you
Yeah,
spoiler
I agree.
alert accused unfoundedly.
Thank you.
I think you.
All right.
I think you owe him.
So
apology.
So
Anywho.
the other thing in Nintendo that talked about they spent forever and a year on. They basically talked about three big things at Nintendo: Pokemon Moon and Sun, Pokemon Go, and the new Zelda
Zelda.
game.
Oh my gosh! Didn't they delay it again too? To 2017?
They did delay it to March of
Yeah.
2017. But what they showed off, they spent a lot of time on it, but it looks really cool.
It
Yeah.
looks cool.
So no more having to go through their set path anymore.
No,
right?
no, it's open
Open
world.
Completely
vector,
open
right?
world.
Zelda,
Right.
the Breath of the Wild?
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Now you ask Shigeru Miyamoto, the guy who invented Zelda, created Zelda, and he will tell you it is not an open world game. He calls it an open air game.
What does that mean?
I don't know why.
Well, you can glide in it.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But it's an open world game. It's basically if an Elder Scrolls game, a modern Elder Scrolls game, and Zelda got together and had a romantic evening and ended up creating a baby.
Unprotected.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
This is
Bow,
what it
bow.
would be. Zelda Breath of the Wild. You can cook food in it for, health buffs and things like that.
It's a Fallout
You
game
can
but for Zelda.
hunt, right. or Skyrim.
Or Skyrim, yeah.
So there's a physics actual physics engine this time. It showed him pushing a boulder off a cliff. And
You can climb things
You can climb on things. The boulder
and jump.
The boulder rolled down and crushed some enemies and killed them.
Oh, cool.
You can light them on fire.
Yeah, you can light
So
things on
multiple
fire.
ways to do
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
task.
It actually looks really, really neat. Now the one thing is it took Zelda. It took Nintendo a long time to get Zelda to this point when there's been
5-6 years.
Skyrim style games for over a
Right.
decade.
But Zelda is special.
It is, and that's why everyone freaked out about it so
Yeah.
much. I mean,
Do you
that
think
was
it would have this kind of hype if it was any other game other than Zelda?
no, not even close.
Good.
Not even close. It would. The hype would be probably 25% of what it is right now.
Yeah.
And the graphics, it's kind of like cell shaded, right?
It's stylized. I think it looks
It's-
really cool.
I feel like it's in between Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
Yeah,
Kind of like in between.
that sounds
Yeah.
about right.
It looks like last generation level graphics, but it's good though.
It looks like the best that last generation had to offer.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I've been playing Wind Waker lately because it went on sale, and that is a good game. I
Yeah.
completely discounted it because of the
This-
graphics.
this cartoon style.
Yeah, it looked like freaking South Park, but it's a great game.
There's something about Zelda that just makes me play it nonstop until I beat it. Very few games do that to me.
See, I'm probably an hour away from finishing Twilight Princess.
Yeah, when I played Twilight Princess, I played it 8 hours a day for 5 days straight.
Wow.
I'm on the last. I'm in Hyrule Castle, going to fight Ganon. So
Good luck.
And I feel with that, it's the world that Nintendo creates really just sucks you in.
It-
Like
yeah,
Zelda,
for sure,
it's
for
the
sure.
score, it's the colors that
The
they
art
have,
style.
the art style.
And it reminds me of the happiest moments of my childhood somehow.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know how they do it.
So I'm
but they do it.
Nostalgia.
So and that game is going to come out for
Nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
nostalgia. That
That's how
game's
they
coming
do it.
out for Wii U and also the new Nintendo NX, which
Yes.
is
Whatever
Did they talk
that
about
is.
that? They didn't talk
No,
about
they
that. at
No,
all.
they did
No.
not.
they didn't talk about it.
I mean,
at
they
all.
talked about amiibos. You can link the new Zelda's going to have amiibo
Yeah.
support.
So
I had to go look that up. I didn't
know that.
I didn't.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I've never.
well, in
done
in Twilight Princess HD, there's I think 3 amiibos that will interact with it. You can use Zelda to if you hold the Zelda amiibo, Princess Zelda will refill your hearts, so you don't have to find hearts in the game.
Are you serious?
That's like a cheat.
That is a cheat.
What?
If you put Link on it, it'll refill your magic meter.
Oh wow! No
Wait,
wonder people buy
That's
those.
not right because
It's like a game genie.
Twilight
for the
Princess doesn't
current
have a
time.
magic meter. I can't remember what Zelda does, but if
You mean Link?
or yeah, what Link does. Sorry, if you put the Ganondorf amiibo on there, it increases the difficulty of the bad guys,
Well, that sucks.
and also increases. I believe it increases the amount of damage you take as
Oh,
well.
right.
So it goes both ways. But why would you ever use that Ganondorf one? This game isn't hard enough.
just going to keep the hearts one on there.
So that game looks really, really, really neat, though.
It might convince me to buy a Nintendo NX,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
Whatever it is, and
That's why they said they delayed it, right? Because they wanted it to be able to be available on NX and Wii U.
well, they'd already
so-
said it was going to be available on both.
right.
But I'm not entirely sure why they delayed it that much. I'm sure that was a factor, but the other one is the game still needs some polish. I watched a couple of videos that went through an uncompressed stream of the gameplay and measured the frame rate and looked at all the graphical tendencies and special effects and things that it uses, and it still it performs really well on the Wii U considering how it looks, but it still has periods where it'll drop to like 25 frames per second instead of a solid 30, things like that. So it needs a little more polish, and not releasing till March, they're going to have plenty of time to do that.
And
Yeah,
for the
no
first
joke.
time ever, it features voice acting.
And yeah, it does feature full voiceover.
Not full. They said that some of it will still
Oh,
be
Not
like
full
words.
Oh, bummer.
And
Yeah.
toying with the idea of being able to change your gender in the game to a female or male character.
What?
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
No.
Yeah.
No, they said Link would never be female.
No.
No, they did.
Check it out.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking
Okay.
about.
You can choose between
Look,
Link
the
or
internet.
Link her.
What did they call it? No, they had Linkle in one of the last.
No,
Edition?
you might be thinking of Legend of Zelda Hyrule
Yeah.
Warriors. In Hyrule Warriors, you can get a female-style Link to fight the hordes with.
So that was Nintendo, and I don't know. I mean, I know they have their treehouse, their own
That's-
conference, but
Right,
still.
and that's the thing is definitely Nintendo does it their own way. I feel like they didn't have a lot to show off, but what they did show off was pretty dang cool.
Yeah, but again, it goes back to WWDC. I feel like they could have definitely brought it down,
shortened
a lot,
it for sure.
For
sure. The other one last thing I want to hit on about the new Zelda game is the size of the map.
Oh yeah,
they said it'd be 12 times larger than the Twilight Princess map, and the Twilight Princess map is pretty dang big.
Now I just kind of know like big maps as in like Grand Theft Auto 5. How big would you say the Twilight Princess is in comparison to the Grand Theft Auto 5?
Twilight Princess to GTA 5? Probably a tenth.
Really?
Maybe less. Twilight Princess, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a big map, but GTA 5 is enormous.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just massive.
And it's kind of funny how fast you explore everywhere in
Yeah.
GTA 5. When you're playing.
Well, I've played through that game one times plus some, and I still don't think I've explored.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I've looked all over the place.
Well, see, I have an issue with the GTA games in that I get so frustrated with myself because I never actually finish the main campaign because I get distracted doing everything else.
Yeah.
That I make myself focus on just playing the story mode, and so that way I can say I beat the game.
Yeah.
I'm a weird kind of storyline completionist like that.
I see.
And
One
so
relates.
the problem is with me is after I beat the storyline, it's like, well, I'm done with this game.
Done.
And instead, I should get out and explore because there's a lot of stuff you can do in that
I
game.
can't play those games. I would be forced to do every single mission.
Yep.
And never play any game ever again.
See, I'm a storyline completionist. Jarron is an OCD completionist with
I can't
every
do the
aspect
100%.
of the game.
I cannot do that.
Yeah, you're 100%.
I think
For
I'm
missions,
more of a,
but like-
I'm more of a gameplay completionist
Yeah,
instead of
me
like
too.
Finding random junk, like the treasures in Uncharted, I can't do that. That's just insane.
But Uncharted, that's your thing.
I love Uncharted.
Okay, so yeah, Nintendo. I think it was the least exciting of the hardware manufacturers
Agreed.
I
by
agree.
far. Now, Sony. Let's hit on, or should we do Ubisoft first?
Let's do Ubisoft.
Okay, let's do some Ubisoft.
Which, by the way, did you know that stands for ubiquitous software?
No,
I did not.
Yeah.
Thank you for teaching us.
That's why it's called Ubisoft, not Ubisoft.
Put a B in front of it and say it.
Oh, you guys didn't put a Ubisoft link in our show notes.
Yeah, I did. It's just,
James did it.
It's not there.
How are we supposed to find it?
I don't know.
Okay, so Ubisoft's presser was too long in general, and they're a French company, so it was kind of weird. I'll be honest with you.
Why was there wine and cheese up there
No,
or
no,
something?
no. It's just like they had a really long dance number.
Oh yeah, yeah, I
And-
remember that. That was great.
And,
More dance numbers, please.
Yeah, and they showed off Just Dance for a long time too. And just in general, it was just kind of like, okay, well, yeah, that's great. Let's get to the games a little more, But the stuff that they did show off was pretty neat. So, they got what's that one that Watch Dogs 2. That looked pretty cool.
I'm done with that
Yeah.
game.
Did you play the first
that-
one?
Yeah, it's garbage.
That never interested me.
That game,
Garbage Dogs.
That game is and the other thing too is I just don't trust them. Ever since the E3 when they
Well,
talked about it,
Yeah.
and I don't care if they say, "Oh, sorry," it's the same problem that I have with Battlefront.
Hey.
No, this last one.
Don't touch
How
my
they're-
Battlefront.
How they're like, "Oh, sorry, we knew we were putting out kind of a stinker small game." It's like,
Right.
well, if you knew that, then give me some money back or
Yeah.
something. Like
I
don't
agree.
don't apologize after the fact.
They're
after
giving
already
you
have my
more
money.
maps. That's what they're doing.
Too
So
little,
you
too
don't
late.
want a complete game anymore?
At this point, it's like a developer can only burn me so much, and Watch
Well-
Dogs is a perfect example of that.
And let me tell you, Ubisoft has a history of showing a game off at E3 or another big convention, and then releasing the game later, and it does not look as good.
It's like
as they
McDonald's
showed off.
advertisements.
Yes, the Big Mac looks amazing in
And
the
then you
pictures,
open that
and you open it up,
box.
and it's like, well, that's kind of squished.
What is this?
Then you
Yeah, why
eat
do they
it,
have to squish
and
each
you
Big Mac?
regret.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I still eat it, and I still play their
Oh
games.
yeah, absolutely.
You feel
but
horrible
still.
after too.
Yeah, it's just like, man, come
That
on.
after Big Mac regret.
Unfulfilling.
But yeah, Watch Dogs 2.
So I'm gonna give it a chance. I think it looks pretty cool. It looks like there's some really neat parkour elements to traversing the city.
Yeah.
I guess it's a lot more open as far as what you can hack and who you can hack. So that's pretty neat.
I think the key word in what you just said is it looks cool.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Ubisoft is
Yeah.
king of that.
Yeah.
And
They are.
And you know what? They still put out a lot of really good games. You know, like you got the Rayman series. You got
Rayman is good.
It's okay.
you got
I'm not a 2D side scroller kind of guy.
the Far
I
Cry.
am sometimes.
Far Cry series has always been really solid.
That's true.
The Rainbow Six stuff has always been pretty good. Splinter Cell stuff has always been pretty
Who
good.
developed Division?
That's Ubisoft.
Okay.
Well, that was another one where they kind of
Okay.
oversold and underdelivered. But speaking of Tom Clancy, they showed off Ghost Recon Wildlands, and that one looks pretty cool. But once again, I guarantee it will not look as good when you're playing it as it did at the conference.
Well, at this table, who likes those kind of games, like the sneaking kind of games?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you play any of like the Metal Gear Solid
I
series?
played all
or
of them.
anything? Okay. See, I don't. That's not my game type, but I can
I
appreciate
like
that it's out
games
there.
where you can sneak, but I don't like games that are just dedicated to sneaking.
Let me tell you a game that you would hate then that I just finally finished over the weekend. Hitman. In Hitman,
Yeah.
if you don't sneak good, you will play the same level over and over and over and over
So
again.
I don't sneak good.
So you like
I
Thief
sneak terrible.
I'm
and
not
those kind of
sneaky
games,
either.
right? Thief, you can play it either way. You can sneak.
Oh, yeah.
you-
Yeah,
you
I would like that, yeah.
Or you can go balls to the wall.
You can, but you're not going to get very far going balls to the wall in Thief.
Like
Eh.
Last of Us, I mean, there's elements where you do need to sneak, but you don't need to sneak the whole time.
Yeah, anytime I have to sneak in those games, it drives me crazy.
A great example of a game where you can sneak and it is encouraged, but you don't have to, and you won't totally get owned. If
Uncharted.
no, not that.
You haven't played the last one. How would you know?
Because I know.
You don't know.
Dishonored. Dishonored is a
Oh,
great
that's what
example.
I was thinking of. Sorry.
If you want
Yeah.
to sneak, you definitely are rewarded for your patience. But if you want to go in guns blazing, you can usually manage it
Hey,
pretty well.
what's the moral of Dishonored?
The moral of Dishonored is it doesn't matter how many people you have to kill to prove that you didn't kill that one person.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say Thief. I meant that game.
Sounds
Dishonored.
good to me.
It's actually a really good game, and
Yeah.
I am excited for Dishonored 2. We mentioned that last episode in the Bethesda
It
conference.
looks like a game that Lionhead Studios would have developed, but it wasn't them.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
I could see that. And I'll be honest, I didn't look in a whole ton onto the Ubisoft games.
There's just not that many interesting ones.
You got For Honor. That looks interesting if you're into realistic historical style medieval games.
There's Steep.
Yeah, Steep's about climbing Everest or K2
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't know. It was, and you got the new South Park game, The Fractured Butthole.
Man, didn't we already talk about
We
that?
talked about that
Yeah.
one already because they showed that off at the Microsoft press conference. Division DLC, Just Dance 2017, Grow Up, new Assassin's Creed.
Star Trek Bridge Crew VR.
Yeah, Star Trek Bridge Crew VR, which has the potential to be good, but we'll see what
If you have the
actually
right
happens.
group to play
Yeah,
with.
I'm sure that's a huge factor. So that Ubisoft in a nutshell, they showed off a lot of stuff that could have some big potential, but we'll see what actually happens. And
Holy moly.
it is always a pleasure to watch Aisha Tyler do her thing on the stage. She's always a good hostess.
And I love her on her TV show,
Oh,
Archer.
Lana.
All right, that's it for Ubisoft, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
please.
yeah. That's it
yes.
for Ubisoft.
Let's move on to Sony.
Sony. Okay, now I've gotten into a couple of semi-heated discussions with people about
Ooh,
the Sony
let's do
press
this.
conference
So
versus the Microsoft press conference.
my opinion is Sony would have been better if they announced some hardware too.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Like better than Xbox.
Yep.
But since they didn't,
Anything.
I think Xbox was a little bit better.
I agree. Yeah, that sounds about accurate.
Well, that argument was quick.
I thought the Symphony was cool.
The Symphony was cool.
Yeah, that was
I'll
pretty
agree
cool.
100%.
Yeah.
I will say I probably enjoyed their presentation style better than I liked Microsoft's, but just I was not nearly excited for the stuff they talked about as was for Microsoft.
There was some good, cool games
No,
in
there was, but Microsoft had two new hardware systems that they announced. They had this is huge for me. They had the Windows 10 Xbox crossover stuff that they announced. The cross-platform
Wait,
stuff.
hold up.
Huge.
I don't think that you can really say 2 new systems.
Okay.
1.5.
Well, 1.5.
Considering,
Yeah, you're
your
right.
other one's going to come out after next year's.
One was just a slight upgrade for video playback.
But
it does include HDR though for games, which is awesome.
Yeah, Gears of War 4 is going to be the first one that takes advantage of that, and that looks pretty amazing, honestly.
Yeah, because just imagine if PlayStation came out and it was like, hey, in 2 years we're going to come out with something new. Am I right? High five, guys. High five.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I would have not high-fived them.
I don't feel like they can announce something that's going to come out after next year's E3.
Yeah,
Isn't that what they did with PS4?
Yeah.
No? What?
I'm
What
pretty
are you
sure
talking
they
about?
announced
I don't
PS4
remember
like
that.
at least
But
a
see,
year
I don't
early.
like that.
Well, that's what Microsoft did, but those consoles weren't out yet. This is mid-cycle,
Yeah.
and Project Scorpio won't be out for another year and a half.
That looks so sweet.
That's
It
true.
does,
It looks
but will
awesome,
it be
but,
as
like-
sweet a year and a half from now?
It'll
No.
be less sweet.
Yeah.
But so Sony showed off a bunch of games, and
There's some cool games they announced.
there was some cool games that announced,
Let's-
but they definitely cater to a different audience than Microsoft does.
Oh, for sure.
Microsoft games were your shooters. I love them. Your driving games, I also quite enjoy. Some Western-style RPGs, which are my favorites. And then Sony stuff was
It's shooters.
you had a couple of shooters.
Yeah.
Not Advanced Warfare, Infinite
Infinite
Warfare.
That was an awesome trailer.
That was a really cool
That
trailer.
was cool.
I'll be totally honest with you. My interest in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare went from 0 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
somewhat interested
Yeah.
in that game now. And they showed off. I will say I am excited. I want to see that new Spider-Man game.
Really?
I'm very excited about that.
That new Spider-Man game looks really cool.
If it's as high quality as the Batman games, oh man, I'm all over that.
Is it made by the same studio?
No, that's
No.
a terrible
No.
comparison.
No, it's a superhero game. That's good quality. Has there been any good Spider-Man
Well,
games?
we don't know if it's good
The
quality.
last really good Spider-Man game was
Spider-Man
2.
How long ago was that?
PS2, Xbox era.
That was
Okay.
like the first open world Spider-Man game, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
How is that a terrible comparison? Batman, comic book game. That's actually good. Those
Hey.
are rare.
Yeah,
If this is a good comic
You know
book
what?
game that's
But-
actually good,
But
hey,
usually when someone
I'm all over it.
Usually when someone says that, they mean if this is as good as the last game that this company made.
Yeah, it's like saying like, "Hey, you like Quake 2? You're gonna like the new Doom game."
No, that's way too close too, because that's the same company.
Yeah,
Hey,
same
you
company.
like Doom?
I never said
gonna
it was
love
the same
Skyrim.
company.
You-
I said if it was as good as the
implied.
Batman
It was
series.
implied.
No, it wasn't.
He is
No.
getting heated.
I am getting heated.
Jarron Rage is coming out.
It's made by Insomniac Games.
now,
Spider-Man.
Now, if you would have said,
What did Insomniac
no,
make?
hang on, this is
Okay.
what I'm getting at. If you would have said, if that game's as good as the Infamous games that Insomniac made, I would have said yes, 100% agree.
Oh, they made Infamous?
Yeah, I like the Infamous games quite
I
a
like
bit.
I like Infamous okay though.
I liked it a lot.
I didn't care about the hero.
Yeah,
No.
the stories were really dumb.
The
in
story,
Infamous.
I thought the story in the first one was really cool.
What was that other one that he was like infected with something?
Oh, that's Prototype. That's a
yeah,
different
those
company.
two to me were like the same.
They came out
game.
right around the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Very similar looking game,
That's like a Deep Impact Armageddon kind of thing.
for sure. But yeah, it definitely has the potential to be really awesome because Insomniac definitely knows what they're doing as far as that style of game goes. They kind of cut their teeth with on this generation with what was it?
Infamous Second Son.
Infamous Second Son, yeah. And so I got pretty good hopes for that game. The other thing that was really neat about it too was they showed the videos for it and everything, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, that's great, but that's pre-rendered." No, the dev came out and said that's in-game engine.
Right.
It looks really good.
It
Yeah,
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am excited for that game. And
Do you realistically think you're going to get it though?
I would.
I will.
Yeah,
Is it
I
purchasable?
love Spider-Man.
I don't think I'll be getting it on launch because I hardly ever buy a game launch, but I know I'll be getting it at some point. Because A, I love Spider-Man, and B, I really enjoy Insomniac games. So,
Yeah. Horizon Zero Dawn looks pretty cool too.
see, now, if you've ever wanted to hunt down a robot Tyrannosaurus Rex, this is the game you want to get.
Yeah, I was like, this is like Cyborg Armageddon.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Isn't it the same
I'm not
people?
a big fan of this game.
Oh, man, it looks
I
good.
just
I
there's
think it looks
nothing
pretty
about
cool.
it that looks intriguing.
This is,
The story looks really dumb.
Yeah.
but-
This is by Gorilla, the same guys that did
Killzone, right?
Killzone
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
So the graphics
I
are,
like Killzone.
are really good. The motion capture's pretty crappy. Like when they talk, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But it looks fun. Whoa.
I'm good.
Are you dying?
This water's really good.
He's dying.
Keep going.
What's the pH levels in that water?
8.2.
Like 7?
7 would be neutral, wouldn't it?
I have no idea. I don't know chemistry.
7 is neutral, and that's probably what it is.
It's got to be really
Good
close
job.
to 7.
Yeah.
Well done,
That's
James.
how I passed high school.
Science.
Science. All right, tell us more about Horizon. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, so you're like this Stone Age woman thing.
Yeah, the
but-
main hero is a chick, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
but it's like set in the future.
It's so
you're fighting these
dumb.
robots that look like dinosaurs
that
or
need
other
to eat grass
or other
for
animals.
whatever reason.
Oh no, it looks great.
That
The
just
grass has energy in
that
it.
just happen to have batteries right on their back to where you can hit them.
Did you ever play that game? It was motion captured by Andy Serkis. What's that called?
Lord of the Rings?
No.
That's not a game, you idiot.
They had the games,
They had
and
games.
they were actually pretty good.
Enslaved.
Yeah, Enslaved.
Great game.
It's kind of similar to Enslaved. That feel, I think.
I loved Enslaved.
Yeah, Enslaved was pretty good,
I did not play that.
and they have like these weird robots also. But it looks open
Is that
world
your
to me.
comparison? Is they also had robots?
Yeah. Okay. No, it was a similar setting. It was like set in the future.
We're
with
going
these
to have
crazy
lessons for
robots.
Jarron.
And they also had robots.
That's it. I'm out.
I love how you quit like once an episode. I'm done. I'm taking my microphone.
I'm going home.
Taking my soundboard.
I'm taking these apricots with me.
Hey, those are my apricots.
That's right.
Hey, Kirkland brand.
So it's let's see, what was it? Gorilla? No, we pretty much hit everything on that one. Oh, the setting. We didn't get into the setting a little bit.
Yeah, it's like Enslaved.
It's
Kinda.
Yeah, actually very similar.
Vindication.
True. He does get some vindication for that one because it's far into the future, post-apocalyptic. So far into the future that humanity's reset basically.
But not all the way, because she still knows how to make bombs and has technology and understands the technology. But animals have evolved to be like, or robots have evolved to be like animals.
Yeah.
I think
So-
that they would call that devolving. To be like animals?
I don't know.
Well, it depends on how advanced your robot was to begin with, because if it became an animal and basically used its own artificial intelligence to evolve, that's more advanced.
That's why I'm just saying, spend 15 minutes a day talking to your vacuum, hype him up a little bit. That way when the robot overlords finally take over, he'll stand up for you and be like, he's with me.
I've spent the last year ignoring my robot.
Oh, he's going to suck you
Yeah.
dry.
Maybe
so.
maybe the vacuum will give us a job in their house, vacuuming their floors.
Yeah.
Or building their vac pods.
Well, like Elon Musk says, we're just part of somebody else's
Simulation.
So
Man, they need to hit a hard reset on that.
I don't think that would be good for me.
So anyway, this game is open world. You go around, third person perspective, shooting bows and arrows at robots. It looks pretty cool.
Technology-filled bows and arrows.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the graphics are great too.
The graphics do look good. Now, that's one thing Gorilla has always excelled in. They always have really good visuals. On the PS3, they had really good visuals. On the PS4 so far, they've had really good visuals. On the Vita, they had really good visuals too.
And the early hype is that it's actually pretty fun and good so far. But we'll see when it comes out.
I like that. Oh, and did you look at any games?
Yeah. So that was actually I had time to. Well, I didn't watch the Nintendo one or the Ubisoft
You
because
didn't miss a whole lot.
Yeah,
No, you did
because
not.
I chose the biggest bang for my buck, which was the Sony one. So the other one we watched was I watched that Infinite Warfare one. I like that. I like the gameplay. I didn't even know.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, I didn't think that was even. I didn't think that was Call of Duty at first.
No, and I think they intentionally did
Yeah,
that.
I was like, what kind of a cool new space game? Because I'm a Halo fan, so I'm like, yeah, is this going to be something that, is going to be,
Now-
I actually thought that was Killzone at first
Do you
because
re-
it kind of has a Killzone Shadowfall
A little
look to
bit,
it.
yeah. Do you remember the first trailer that Infinite Warfare released on YouTube and what happened to it?
No, I didn't see it.
So they released their first trailer probably about 2 months before E3, maybe a little bit longer, and it quickly became the most downvoted video in the history of YouTube.
Even more so than the Ghostbusters? Or did that come out before the Ghostbusters?
I think maybe it was the most downvoted video game.
Oh,
trailer.
Most downvoted something.
Yeah, the point is it got a whole lot of downvotes. And
on the YouTube,
on the YouTube's like over 1 million, I think.
Oh wow!
Like it was crazy. And so I think intentionally Activision when they went to Sony and said, you're going to put our stuff in. Let's not let anyone know that it's Call of Duty until after they've watched it.
Right.
So
But yeah, because I had no idea before, and then all of a sudden they drop it at the end.
Well, and it starts off, and you're like flying a spaceship
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
And you're like, oh,
Doing like a space incursion. Like
this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So are they going to start to do kind of the Battlefront thing where you actually have things that you can get into, that you can fight in the battlefield as well as
Maybe.
just on the ground? Because I feel like that's the thing
Vehicles.
that's lacking
Yeah.
in those games.
It could be.
And that was my biggest complaint with Star Wars Battlefront is Battlefront 1 and 2. It was like, I know it's not open world, but it's like you can get in anything. Versus this one, you got to get stupid little tokens.
What else is there to get into? That you got your speeders, you got your
No,
X-wings,
he's just complaining.
A-wings.
He's complaining about how you get into it. That's what he's complaining about.
Yeah.
So
I
you want to
wanna
see the animation of a plane coming down and you stepping
Reason
into the
being is
plane,
because-
the cockpit opening, you stepping up to the cockpit closing.
This sounds like it'll take a long time.
Well, the reason being is because when you're on the enemy's team, and this isn't like 100% seclusive to this, but you could see their vehicles and you can blast their vehicles before they can even get in it.
That's cool.
Or
yeah.
as they're getting in it.
True. I remember doing that in Battlefield 4. Same developer.
Oh, Battlefield 4, yeah. For some reason, I thought you said Battlefront. I'm just
No.
there wasn't.
Battlefield 4.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah.
the other one was God of War.
Oh,
Okay.
you took the one that I wanted to talk about.
I just
that one's good.
So
Talk
is that,
about it.
is that a new game? Or is this a continuing of a
it's
franchise?
continuation.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Before-
I didn't
I-
play the first. Or
I haven't
second or
played any
of them.
God of War games,
Me
and
neither.
I really don't have any desire to,
Same.
because I got my fill of the above the character third person
Omniscient type of thing.
slice 'em up, shoot 'em up games after I finished Devil May Cry 1. After that, I was pretty much done with that genre.
Oh,
I
man.
never got into it after that.
You
I
are
tried.
missing out.
I played Ninja Gaiden. I played Devil May Cry 2. I played Devil May Cry 3. I played Ninja Gaiden 2. I mean, I gave a lot of them a chance.
If you have an opportunity, here's the thing. I know we're going to kind of go off the path right now, but play Dante's Inferno, made by the same people.
I
My
tried to
gosh,
play
that
that
game
one.
is so good. Anywho, it's a game that's super simplistic. It's not really that hard. You just need to memorize where the buttons are in your gamepad and then just straight up just play it out.
Mash away.
Dante's
Yeah.
Inferno isn't made by the God of War people.
I swear it is. Is it not?
Nah, Dante's
No, I'm
Inferno
gonna
is.
look that up.
I'm pretty sure someone in EA made that, and God of War is Santa Monica
Sure, because
Studios.
it's played the exact same.
Right, it's a copy.
Oh. Maybe that's why I
Yeah,
was
it's
thinking what it
EA.
was.
Dante's Inferno.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Nailed it.
Anywho, Dante's Inferno is pretty much the same thing as God of War, but God of War, it's during the Greek time, and you're a Spartan, and oh my gosh, if you don't even want to play those games, go online and look up the cutscenes alone. It's super gory, so don't watch it around kids or anything, or at work. But the story is amazing, and I'm just excited that they're bringing it back.
Isn't this
Yeah.
new one though more third person?
So this new
Perspective?
one brings the camera down behind the character, so it's like a real third-person perspective,
Right.
not like up high behind.
So it's going to be like a Arkham game.
It'll be
right?
more like Arkham camera angle, more like Uncharted.
Yeah, less.
What?
Yes.
I wouldn't say that it's full on Diablo camera style, but it is up there quite a ways.
Oh, the older
The
God
older
of Wars?
ones, yeah.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between third person and Diablo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but man, it's good.
But that trailer, like I said, I've never played a God of War game. I don't really have any desire to. I will play this new God of War.
I would say that it's a good jumping on point,
It
considering they're
looks-
changing from the different
So,
gods and stuff.
Yeah, so that's what I want to know is I understand the backstory between Kratos and the Greek gods and all that, blah, blah, blah. This takes place in Norse mythology.
Yeah,
With the same Kratos.
Yeah, spoiler alert, he kills all the Greek gods. He
Oh,
goes up.
really?
First game he kills the God of War. That's the whole
I actually
kind
kind of wanted to play that.
Well, now you don't need to.
No, you don't
Anyhow,
need to. You
yeah.
win.
Thank you, James.
You win and kill all the Greek gods.
I said spoiler
He
alert.
did.
I can't just shut my ears like that.
Spoiler
same
alert.
breath.
And then he eventually kills Zeus. So what I'm thinking is it's a new wave of gods that came in to take over after the Greek gods because he killed all of the gods. That's my assumption.
I think
having not
you're
played any of
you're
the game.
close.
They
I
look
think
like leftover demons that might be like running rogue.
You think?
Or something. Yeah.
I think you just got it switched a little bit. I think Kratos moves to Norway area,
You think?
northern
He's
Europe.
got a kid now,
Just
right?
to retire or something?
I think he does to get
So
away,
there's-
honestly.
There's different gods depending on the different parts of the world?
Yeah, didn't
Are
you know
you
that?
serious?
No, I know that, but like I'm saying in this universe, that's what you're saying is like.
Oh yeah.
Like
there's lots of stories out there that combine all the different gods based on where you're at on the earth. Look at a fantastic example of this is an amazing book written by Neil Gaiman called American Gods.
Is it a book?
It's a book.
Wait.
So good.
Hercules, the TV show in the 90s, didn't they do this sometimes? They had like gods from different mythologies come in every now and then in an episode.
I wasn't allowed to watch that because it showed his pecs.
I loved that show.
I think I watched every episode of that show when I was little, but I don't remember that aspect.
That and
of it.
Xena.
Xena
And
Warrior
boy,
Princess,
was
man.
I dumbfounded when I found out they were lesbians.
Are you serious?
Spoiler alert.
I had no idea.
Now I need to go back and rewatch. I remember one episode. It showed her blonde companion's naked
Gabrielle.
bottom.
Yeah.
And
What?
my
They didn't
gosh,
show that.
yes, they did.
No, I watched almost all of
I
them. No
promise
way.
they did because
You must have missed that
12-year-old me remembered it, logged it away
Put that in the vault.
for a rainy day.
So I'm actually quite excited for this new God of War because I like Greek mythology. I've always been interested because when I was growing up, I didn't get into comic books and stuff until I was in high school. But before that, I dived pretty deep into the mythologies of the world: Greek mythology, Roman mythology, Norse mythology, and I love Norse mythology.
Well, and what's awesome about these games is how they tie these gods in, like how they tie Hercules in, how they tie Zeus in, how they just tie everybody in, and like their artistic take on all this stuff and the worlds that they create. I mean, it's just a good game. It's super, super gory. I don't think that's much of a problem, but yeah. First video game boobs I ever saw was in God of War. The first one.
Hey,
Ooh.
everyone remembers their first.
Duke Nukem
Duke
3D.
Nukem 3D. Yeah, high five.
Yeah.
The other thing that's really cool.
So
looking
pixelated.
it was awful. Just little droops.
Dave Bow.
But you stopped to do it again.
Well,
didn't you?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
The other thing that was really neat about that is he's with his son.
Is it?
Did you not pick that up?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. Was it his son or is it
That's
his
his
daughter?
son.
It's his son, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's his son. And well, it's got long hair.
In the
and-
scene, his son shoots him with an arrow.
Dude, that
Oh,
I
I was
liked
like-
that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's what I'm saying. That dynamic between those two looks like it's going to be really interesting
Right.
to play through as
Do
you
you
go.
think they kind of got that from The Last of Us?
I guarantee, because you know that all those first party studios talk to each other and share ideas and things like that for sure. And I'm pretty sure, I can't remember 100%, so don't quote me on this, but I think a couple of people from Naughty Dog moved over to Santa Monica Studios like a year or two ago.
Oh, Naughty Dog is so good.
And so it wouldn't surprise me at all if there's some pretty substantial influence from the Naughty Dog style of storytelling. But that game, okay, I forgot I am excited for that game. So
Oh, yeah.
from Sony, probably the other one that there was 3 games that struck me as interesting that I actually want to keep looking at. We've talked about God of War.
Yep.
We've talked about Spider-Man, and the other one we haven't talked about, I think looks pretty dang cool, is the new one by Quantic Dream. It's called Detroit
Becoming Human.
Becoming Human.
Oh yeah, I
You
didn't
said
see
Detroit.
that
I automatically tuned out.
I was there a few days ago.
Neutral colors.
Detroit? Oh, a layover?
Layover, yeah.
There you go.
It looked pretty.
Detroit is made by the development company Quantum Dream, who is known for games like what's the name of that one? Dang it. Indigo Prophecy.
Heavy Rain?
Heavy Rain, Indigo Prophecy. Outside of the US, that game Indigo Prophecy was known as Fahrenheit. Heavy Rain, and then Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, that one looked pretty boring to me.
That one it starred Willem Dafoe and
And Ellen Page.
Ellen Page.
I don't-
mean, they got some big name people to.
Yeah, I heard it was just men, though.
See, my problem is when they get people, with the exception being The Last of Us, when they get like big name actors to come in.
Who was in The Last of Us?
What's her face?
Ellen Page.
No,
wasn't
that
her.
was Ashley something.
Yeah, it was
something.
someone else.
She was in some show.
She just
something,
looked and
something.
sounded like
What?
Ellen Page in the game. Seriously,
Yeah.
it
Oh my
wasn't
gosh,
Ellen
I am
Page.
so wrong about so many things tonight. Is it really not Ellen Page?
Yeah,
No,
I
it's really
promise.
not. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm
the delay.
done. Done.
Last of Us is probably my second favorite game of all time. I love.
What's
that
your number
game.
one favorite
Witcher
game?
3.
No, let's
Oh,
not
yeah,
talk
I
about
should've
Witcher
guessed that.
3 again.
Witcher 3
Come
is the
on.
best. I love it.
Wait, what about you, Owen? What's your favorite game of all time?
I'm still the Xbox franchise. I mean,
No game. Favorite game of
Favorite
all
game.
time.
oh.
You weren't paying attention.
All right,
No,
we'll come
I
back
was
to
not-
that.
I was-
Jarron, what's your
what are you
favorite
talking
game
about?
of all time?
I'm playing it right now.
What is it?
Uncharted 4.
We're on a tangent right now.
Oh,
Favorite
okay.
game
Sorry.
all time.
StarCraft 2.
Okay.
Second.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Of all time, I think that's my favorite.
There you go. Quantic Dream. We're talking about Detroit Becoming Human. So the graphics look insane. Go check out the video online. Just look up Quantic.
Really? I thought.
No. They look really good.
I thought they were just okay.
What game looked better for
God
PS4?
God of War.
Okay, that game looked really good.
I could see my
We just
point.
talked about
I
it.
see your point there. Okay, but the graphics are always really good on the Quantic Dream games because they do super thorough motion capture. I mean, down to like all the dots all over the face to get the exact expression down and things like that. But it's a very, very story-driven game because that's what Quantic Dream is known for. Their games are super story-driven.
I'm in.
Honestly, there's not a whole ton of usually the gameplay for a Quantic Dream game is just kind of like, it was all right. But the story they try to tell is always really ambitious and almost always really interesting and really good. That's what grabbed my attention so much with Indigo Prophecy back in the day on the Xbox, the original Xbox. The gameplay itself, it was all right. The story was just really cool.
Quick mention.
Yes.
Battlefront. It's getting an X-wing mission in VR. It looks pretty sweet.
In VR.
I wish it were a full game because it sounds like it's just like one level in an X-wing, but
Guys, we're so sorry that it wasn't a good game at the
but
beginning.
it's nice that
Here's some more stuff.
they're releasing it free to people who already have
I
Battlefront.
know we hit you a lot at the beginning, but please
But
take
They're
this
giving
free
it away
stuff.
for free.
It looks pretty
Okay.
awesome as a VR experience.
I promise our second game's gonna be better.
Oh, I want to punch you in the nose.
Take it.
They did basically say that when they announced Battlefront 2. They're like, oh, sorry, the first game didn't have a single-player campaign. This next one will. Sorry you didn't think there was enough stuff in it. This one will have more. That's not coming out till 2018.
Let's talk about the VR X-wing
Yes,
mission.
yes.
It looks awesome.
So that does look really cool. They showed off a couple of different things. They showed off a Batman VR made by Rocksteady,
Yeah.
the same people that did the Arkham
I was like,
games.
that's Mark Hamill
Yeah.
doing the Joker's voice again.
That looks really
It was
cool.
really good.
By the way, I'm slightly. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited that he's back, but I feel a little bit misled because wasn't Arkham City supposed to be like his big finale from doing the Joker's voice?
Yeah.
He
And
keeps
then,
on doing
and then
it.
he's like, I'll come back.
He's
Well,
coming
they-
back for the Killing
Which,
Joke.
don't get me wrong. Like, I'm happy he's back, and
Well-
I get it. It's the money, but still,
They keep giving them reasons to come
Yeah,
back.
but don't tell. It's
which
like
are
don't tell
reasons
me.
such as dollars,
Dollars.
and good stories
Yeah.
that are going to be awesome.
Oh, I will buy every Arkham game that comes out. Don't get me, except for the one that was developed by Montreal.
Origins.
Arkham Origins. I heard that was a turd.
It was all right. It was not nearly up to the standards of the first two Arkham games.
And
but-
maybe it's just my thing. I don't care where stuff comes from. Don't go back to the origins. Show me progression in the story.
I agree.
Don't go backwards.
I'm not a huge prequel kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if the Spider-Man is as good as those Batman games,
Oh, here we go.
that's it. That's all I got.
I want to talk about Norman Reedus and the
Oh,
funky-
yeah.
and the funky fetus.
Who is Norman Reedus? Why do people
You have
keep
to
saying
know the
his
Walking,
name?
The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
He's
you
from
got
The
to
Walking Dead.
watch Walking Dead.
Which is a
Oh.
huge.
Coral.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
You need to watch The Walking Dead. So, but the internet has dubbed this Norman Reedus and the funky fetus. It's the because the trailer that they did it
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
it's
Normie
actually
McNorm face.
It's called it's the guy that did. We were speaking about Metal Gear Solid.
Hideo
before.
Kojima
Yeah,
is his name.
He had a brain.
I can't get his name right every time.
Hideo, like video minus the
Oh.
V. Kojima.
So he left the studios that he was doing with Metal Gear Solid with.
Yeah, he
wasn't the coral guy.
for
Yeah.
some reason Konami
Yeah.
gave him the boot.
Yeah, they booted him.
And
Whoa,
So he
Norman
comes out-
Reedus looks exactly like the guy in the trailer.
it
Because
was
it's Norman
him.
It is him. But yeah, so he comes out on stage. He's like, "I'm back," and which is really good news for a lot of people that like Metal Gear Solid. And I mean, this game,
And Silent Hill. He
yeah,
did the
and
Silent Hill games.
But yeah, he came out and I was like, I think that's the Walking Dead guy. Norman something, Norman. And then I looked it up later, Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus, because he's holding a baby, and then it vanishes and turns into some invisible handprints on him.
Yeah, it's super bizarre.
Yeah. Oh
And
my gosh.
that's all they said. They didn't say anything
No,
else about the
I mean,
game.
officially it's called Death Stranding, which you kind of see as
Death Stranding?
Stranding as ink lines ink off the letters.
Is that
Yeah.
Boondock Saints 3?
Maybe that's what it is. But
Boondock Saints 3,
Yeah.
Death Stranding.
I don't
Death
think
Stranding.
so. But maybe.
But maybe we'll have to check it out. It was
Why not?
super bizarre, right?
Yeah.
That preview was super bizarre.
Very good visuals, like graphically.
Oh,
yeah,
the
those
game looked
graphics
amazing.
Right.
were
Well, yeah, but
amazing.
that wasn't gameplay that we were looking at, though. I
No,
mean, that,
it was
that
probably
could just be a
pre-rendered,
cutscene.
yeah.
It was probably pre-rendered, but still looked really good.
Actually,
But
he said it wasn't pre-rendered.
Oh, well,
but
there you
it
go.
was still just like a cutscene where.
It, yeah, they didn't say anything else about that game though, other than here's Norman Reedus. He's gonna be in
Or
it.
when
You
it
like
will come
Norman
out.
Reedus? Yeah, you do.
He's
we
not-
put him in game.
He's not Russian. He's Japanese.
Yeah.
We put him in the game.
I was racist
What is
last
that?
time, and now I'm not racist
We
this
give him
time.
a baby, we take away the baby.
It's like Italian.
I think so.
And then we give him a salami.
See, last time I was super racist.
It's James's turn.
Now it's James's turn.
We give him a baby.
A baby.
I don't know.
Maybe they're planning a reboot of Silent Hill. Like I know that was kind of in the
So,
works,
that
right?
was in the
Before
works
he got
for a
booted
while.
by Konami.
Wait,
Yeah.
are we talking about this game being a reboot of Silent Hill?
Maybe. Like
It-
it's kind of
I
speculation.
feel like it's too technical.
It
like,
can't be
yeah.
a reboot of Silent Hill because
He doesn't
Konami
own the
still
property.
owns
Right.
Silent Hill property. But they did do a demo called PT, I believe, Silent Hill PT or something like that you could get on the PS4 for quite a while. And then when Konami severed its ties with Hideo Kojima, they took it off and they also said this game isn't ever coming out. They took it off.
Does anyone in the whole world respect
store.
Konami at this point? I don't
No.
think so.
No.
They're
Which-
terrible. They're a terrible company.
Which, quick side note, did you guys ever see that Silent Hill movie that came out?
Nah.
No, you guys?
No, I never
Oh,
saw
it's
it.
like my.
Nope.
It's
I don't
my,
watch horror shows at all.
It's my guilty pleasure. I like that movie.
Nah, it's okay.
It was dirty.
Okay.
All right. Anyhow, what else has Konami developed?
Those are what they're really known for is Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid.
Contra.
Who does
Contra
who
back
does
in the
Metal
day,
Gear
yeah.
Solid?
That was Hideo Kojima.
Up, down, left, right. What's that code? Wasn't that originally a Konami
Up,
code?
down, left, right, BA, select, start.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
Konami. That's
Contra, baby. I
Konami.
love that
That's
game.
a Konami.
That
So
got
that's
you
like
50,
that's kind of
50 lives,
yeah.
I think.
and it's kind of into social history there.
I
Oh,
remember.
yeah.
I remember when I was playing that game for the first time. And it's a
Nerd
2D
history.
side scroll, and I'm not a big 2D side scroller, but at that time, you don't really have much of a choice.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it goes from like 2D side scroller to you're shooting stuff in front of you.
Yeah.
I remember
Like
like
to the second level.
blew my mind.
Oh my gosh, I'm going forward. Not right, not left, forward.
3D.
What is this?
They've added a whole dimension.
It's like I'm there.
Basically, Sony threw a blank check at Hideo Kojima and said, we want you to make something just for the PlayStation
Yeah.
4.
His name.
Yeah, it'll probably work out
Yeah.
for him too.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then Norman Reedus.
Yes.
Reedus.
Oh.
Because he's big right now. He's like, I reckon a Norman Reedus.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
is so bad.
think you're missing it still. Try again there.
Oh,
No.
my gosh.
I
Hey,
reckon a rock.
I want to talk about one more game:
Which one?
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Andromeda. They didn't. It's hard to talk about that game because I liked the other Mass Effect so much, and they haven't shown us anything really for this
No,
one.
they released a new trailer and talked a bit about it.
Enlighten me.
That's all I got.
Can I say my favorite thing is when people are like bummed when like a series like Mass Effect ends and everybody's like, oh, it's my favorite game and I can't believe it's done. It's like, the studio's like money, right?
Oh, yeah, they're gonna make another one.
Like, of
Except for
course.
Uncharted, they're not going to make another
Point-
one of those until they do.
It works across the.
Cut to 3 years from now.
Uncharted 5.
You reckon a Norman Reedus?
So we do
We'll
know.
put him in an Uncharted game.
I would buy that.
That's not even the right developer.
Oh, now look
Cats
who's
and
making
dogs.
assumptions at what I'm talking about. You think I'm talking about the Konami? Oh wait, what's his name? Hideo.
Hey, you got it.
Oh, did I really?
Yeah, you did.
Oh no
Hideo.
way! I was kidding.
Good job.
So we do know a little bit about Mass Effect Andromeda. It's taking place in a new galaxy. Commander Shepard's not going to be in it.
Yep.
Um,
It's also isn't it a long time after
yeah, I think it is.
the Commander Shepard storyline?
Because like the trailer shows the new protagonist like waking up from a deep sleep. It looked like she's like, "Oh, we're here."
Yeah,
Finally.
like a cryogenic sleep.
Yeah. So it looks sweet, and the Mako's back. the car.
I saw that.
So-
that 6-wheeled behemoth.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking they're probably going to ramp up the exploration a lot. It's looking like compared to
That could be good.
the original trilogy. The graphics look a lot better from the few cutscenes they've shown.
Yeah, but we don't know if that's gameplay.
Actually, I think they did show a tiny bit of gameplay.
Chances are it's going to look really good because Mass Effect
Yeah.
in the past has always used in-engine for its cutscenes, in-engine footage.
But I'm very excited about this. I love Mass Effect.
Mass
I
Effect,
still gotta play those games.
It's good.
definitely worth playing.
Yeah.
All three of them, they're very good. I mean, you're dedicating, if you want to beat them all, you're dedicating 180 hours.
No,
Wow.
not that much. It's
No,
not nearly
120
as big as Dragon Age. You could do like
120?
yeah, you could do
Here's the
120.
thing, like
each
the,
game
the
40
play
hours.
style of Dragon Age, I couldn't get into. I do not
Well,
like that.
It's
at
totally
all.
Mass Effect is just a third-person shooter playstyle.
But you can also switch it to where it's more story, right? It's pretty much just
Well,
kind
the
of
whole
skips the
thing's
action.
super story.
Yeah, there's a lot of cuts. There's
How
a lot
does
of
it compare to, like,
dialogue
The
you have to go
Witcher?
through.
Because I've never played The Witcher before.
Uh,
Like I started it, and I
Why
couldn't.
would you want to compare it to a game you've never played before?
It's like
Yeah, that's a good
comparing
point.
Spider-Man to Batman.
Yeah, it doesn't
yeah.
make- it doesn't make any- That's the dumb side of the table over there.
Yeah, no, I totally fit in on the smart side.
Right? High five,
Yeah.
Owen. Well done.
I reached a normal
I just stay quiet and I seem smart. I don't betray myself.
It's a good plan.
Not on a podcast.
What
Anywho.
else? I was going to say something else about Mass Effect. I can't remember what it was.
There's blue ladies in it.
Yeah, those are the.
Remember when you told me you thought they were hot?
That's because they are. The blue lady aliens.
I can't get over the tentacles coming out of the head, dude.
He
It's
likes
just like
that.
dreadlocks. Who cares?
Put a hat on it.
Yeah, put a hat on it. No big deal.
America.
See how smart Owen is?
Yeah, bam.
Speaking
Smart
of
end
which,
of the table.
Speaking of which, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch lately, and I have
Oh,
no
good
idea how
game.
people make it up and over level 100. Like I've pumped
There's
like
people over 100.
80 hours into this game,
Holy
and I
cow.
am not even close.
I'm like
no, there was somebody
15.
over 100 in the first week. I do not understand unless they offer like a bonus XP. I mean, you got to be playing that game all day and all
Outsource.
night.
They're outsourcing.
There's
they're
totally
outsourcing
people
their
that do
account, letting people just rack it up. They
But,
got
like,
some. They got some professional grinders. Just
Yeah,
love
but
it.
it's crazy to me. But that game is still so good. And
Way fun.
honestly, the way that I
Professional
wish
grinder.
I wish that they could release DLC like 1 and 2 weeks after they release the game, because like you got the hardcore gamers like me that pretty much play every day.
But the
on these
DLC
kind of
is
games.
free, so it won't weed out the tough people.
no,
he
I know,
just
but
wants
like I'm
more-
saying, like
he
I-
just wants more content in general.
Oh,
Yeah,
see.
I wish that they would release like a new character or a new map or
Didn't
new
they-
free skins like every week.
Didn't
like
they
something
have?
every week.
Isn't it Overwatch that had to change that because you could avoid harder characters by having a never meet this person or whatever?
That
Didn't-
sounds familiar.
Yeah,
but
they
I
had a
don't
never
remember.
play this person, and it was a way to avoid strong characters and just pound on smaller people. So they changed.
I
that
have
or
no
something.
idea about that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Overwatch, they're gonna nerf
Torbjorn.
Torbjorn in the console versions.
Which I'm happy and I'm sad about that. I mean, when you're playing as him, he's a good character. If you know where to place turrets in the map strategically, they're really, really good. But at the same
Yeah.
time, my other character that I really like playing is Pharah. And man, if you play Pharah against a Torbjorn, which normally you do if you're attacking versus defending, those turrets are what knock you out.
Oh yeah, because they programmed the artificial intelligence or the hit percentage just exactly the same on the console as they did for the PC, and it's just a
It's super
well-known
accurate.
fact that people are more accurate on the PC with a mouse and keyboard, so it's easier to take out the turrets versus on console. It's just as accurate as PC, which puts it at a huge advantage to console player or against console players.
Oh, and see, I didn't even know this.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh,
Because on a console with the two thumbsticks, it's harder to get your precision shots in.
yeah.
So it would be harder to take out that turret.
Now, what I wish that they would do is make 1 or 2 hits less to build it up to level 2. But they really, I mean, the nerfing, taking it down 30%, I feel like is fair.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can keep it up for a couple more seconds, fives, then you
He
deserve
high
it.
fived.
Oh, I get it.
He high fived Owen on that joke.
It was
and I
a
got that reference
it was a joke
It was a joke.
about man parts.
about
Ah.
keeping it up. The turrets,
We're talking about turrets.
guns.
Anyway.
Can we talk about a gadget?
Yeah, let's. I think. Is there any more other games we wanted to talk about? I think we hit on everything.
Nope.
Um,
Yeah, I think that's it.
I think
from
that's
the-
it for the games for the E3. So that is our exhaustive E3 coverage.
We hope you care.
We hope you care. That should be our tagline. That should be the Gadget Spots
I like it.
battle cry.
Yeah.
We hope you care.
We hope you care.
That'll be how we end our shows.
Or decent,
Yes.
or decently comma relevant.
That is. That's our sign off for
Yes.
the show. We hope you care.
We hope you care. Yes, and I made it.
Hey, good job, James.
That
But
was
Tony
me.
recognized it.
Oh yeah.
There's a team effort. High five.
Over here.
Yeah.
High fives all around.
All around.
Jarron. There we go.
Wait.
There.
Yeah.
I forget Owen exists sometimes.
That was every combination of high five that we just did.
That's
because
right.
because I'm not
There's a
you're not across the table, so I always have to look over. And if I look over, I'm not talking
I
in the
know
mic
how this
anymore.
goes.
Because
Yeah.
he has no neck or
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like
peripheral vision.
Batman.
That deserved high fives all around. It was a
It
big
did.
stepping
I'm sorry,
stone.
It's okay.
I already forgot.
You're
What was
important
it
to me.
again?
I don't
We
remember.
hope you care.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
We
it.
hope you care.
I came up with it again.
High five! All right.
All right.
All
All right.
I
Can we
remembered
have
it.
somebody write that down in the
I
show
remembered
notes?
it.
I will.
We hope you
We
care.
hope you.
I love how I
care.
already forgot it like 2 seconds
All right.
after the fact.
Let's talk about a gadget. Jarron, what do you got?
The OnePlus 3. It
Oh,
is a good phone.
This looks good. Hardware-wise, it needs some software tweaks.
Yeah, but yeah. So OnePlus is a brand from China. They made waves a few years ago.
So isn't it one press?
OnePlus.
No.
I can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm not racist.
Oh.
Sick burn.
Yeah.
I hope
Sick
people
bird.
out there make fun of me.
So their tagline is "Never settle." A couple years ago, they released a phone. They said it was just as good as any flagship out there, but half the price.
The flagship killer.
Yeah, but the first two generations, they were okay, but they weren't exactly flagship killers. But OnePlus 3 just barely came out.
Flagship killer.
It is a good phone. It's been getting great reviews from
Potential.
everywhere I've seen.
Flagship killer.
Last time it wasn't a unibody metal frame. This time it is. It has a fingerprint sensor on the front that works well. It's got a good camera, like an actually good camera. Not as good as like the S7, but they say it's probably comparable to the S6. So that's still a great camera.
Yeah.
It's got a 1080p 5.5-inch screen.
Some people complain about that. I think it's okay.
I think it's okay. It'll save you battery life.
Yeah.
It gives you an extra boost in processor speed because it doesn't have to push
As
all those
many
extra
pixels?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pixels.
Pixels?
Pixels.
Pickles.
It's got the latest Snapdragon 820.
Got to push those Vlasics around.
Yep.
The pickles.
It's got the latest Snapdragon 820.
I want some pickles now.
And
Should've
it's
somewhere
got
around here.
6 gigs of RAM, which is insane.
That's insane. That first smartphone on the market, right? With
Yeah.
6 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
But
I mean, other manufacturers will get there
S7 has
eventually.
4.
S7 has 4.
Yeah, and they need one just to run their
OS, basically.
just to run their TouchWiz
their
stuff.
stupid TouchWiz garbage.
Yeah.
Here's a problem, though, with the OnePlus 3. It nails it big time, out of the park with the hardware. Software's got some issues, and they've acknowledged it and said they're going to send a fix, but it has not come yet.
Issues being apps don't stay loaded in RAM like they should.
Exactly.
Wow.
As a result,
So
you
they're
end up with a
useless.
phone that is, on paper, just as powerful, if not more so, than a Galaxy S7 or a HTC One. What are they calling it this year? HTC One.
I don't even remember. M10, M11,
M11, whatever the
M
latest,
something.
whatever the latest Android is from all the big manufacturers that have that same chipset, tons of RAM. It will not perform as fast as those because the software kicks everything out of the RAM to quote save battery unquote.
But if they've acknowledged it, it sounds like they're going to try to fix
Hopefully
it.
they fix it really soon because if they can fix that, that phone is easily the phone you should get.
Yeah,
if you like
it's
Android.
$400 unlocked.
Yeah.
which is
Wow.
great.
Holy
64 gig.
Yeah.
That's super cheap. Man.
Yeah, and their previous 2 generations, they had this weird invite system if you wanted to buy it, which made it near impossible to get one if you just wanted to get one. You had to jump through all these hoops. But this year, they finally dropped that. You can just finally order it without any weird junk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got enough funding to make enough backstock to handle.
That's kind of what it seems
Yeah.
like.
The other one was designed to nerf orders.
It just blows my mind that they would be that frugal with the RAM when there's 6 gigabytes of it. I mean, you could load half of everyone's app library on your phone.
Probably all of it.
It sounds like it
probably
was
all
for
of it.
battery life though, not for
That's-
like speed.
It's
so.
true, but
It's got a pretty big battery. It's got a 3,000 milliampere battery, so it's
that's why I was a little
Right.
confused.
Yeah.
So if they fix that, and if they've acknowledged it, that's a good step. It's a great phone. It's got also USB Type C with quick charging.
Which is great.
Yeah.
The only thing is if you're big into like Google Cardboard or VR with your phone, it's not as good because it's a 1080p screen.
That is true.
But honestly, I think it's kind of worthless for a phone. So anyway, I for the price, this is my top pick at the moment. It's a great looking phone.
Yeah.
If I was going to buy a phone right now, that's the phone I would get.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm not going to buy one for a while.
I just wish.
Yeah, me neither.
I just wish you could put native Google,
It's-
Chrome, Android vanilla, just straight Android.
The tweaks they made to it were very, very, very light.
Okay,
You won't get software updates as fast as if it were a Nexus device.
that's frustrating.
I love that feature.
But the tweaks they did make were actually pretty helpful. For example, they have a ringer switch on it, like the iPhone has.
Oh, nice.
But no other Android phone seems to care
No.
about it. This has it.
I love that
yeah,
aspect of my
it's-
iPhone.
yeah,
It's a
like
great
the
feature.
IR scanner, like how other
Does
ones
it have an
Drop
IR?
it. Oh wait.
Wait, dang it!
Does it have an IR blaster?
No,
Oh.
because no one
Blaster,
cares
sorry.
about that.
Like
Not
they
a
care
single
about a
person.
volume switch.
Oh,
turn it off.
I just want to control my TV with my phone.
Next, I'm going to try to control my wife with my phone, but
It's
it
not
doesn't
working.
work.
There's
It's called
no,
an IR blaster.
there's no IR blaster.
Makes me feel
I
powerful.
can't turn her on. I don't know what's wrong with
You
it.
hold an IR blaster in your hand and tell me it doesn't make you feel powerful.
However, I need that vibration switch, and that works. You guys are gross.
I think that's a lady parts reference.
No
Whoa!
wonder
I
you have
can't believe you
kids.
went there.
Oh,
I can't. That was gross.
Owen.
I'm sorry.
Oh man.
No, we just changed this one to not
Please-
even work with that.
Please keep your private life private.
Sorry.
And hands to yourself.
Oh.
I've had to tell him that 3 times.
Don't touch me.
Off microphone.
Whatever. We've high fived like 18 times
Get
today.
your hands off my leg.
All the combinations.
Was there any other gadget that I thought I saw something else on the list? Maybe
Yeah. So Google announced something that could be cool, but in typical Google fashion, it probably won't see the light of day.
Hey.
Is it something where Google just takes their bags of cash and just like start throwing it?
Yes.
At
So,
something like, here,
That's what they do for everything.
And it
Here.
works.
So what this is, it's called Google Project Bloks. It's toys for kids to teach them to learn how to code.
You know,
And build circuits, right?
You know, for kids.
for kids.
Isn't that called Minecraft?
This is actual.
That's Microsoft.
These
they
are
do that.
actual toys. So like pretty much no computer.
Physical
is needed.
toys?
Yeah, physical. Well,
Okay.
Kids don't
physical
want
toys.
physical toys.
And so you
Dude.
watch the videos like that's an awesome idea.
Have
Where
kids
can
first.
Says the man who has no kids.
3.
No, I don't have
Oh,
kids.
you don't have kids.
No.
Right.
My seed doesn't take
No.
hold.
No. Maybe it's a remainder thing.
Well, yeah, it remainders all over the place.
Oh.
where
I see
we're
what he did
we're
there.
slowly crossing over to adult territory here.
All right, back to the toys.
Gadget spot after dark, day bow bow.
All right, Project Bloks. So it's physical, actual toys that you can like connect together, kind of like Tinker
Legos?
toys and Legos and stuff like that.
Okay.
So you're reading about it, it's like, that's cool. I want to buy it for my son. But, of course, Google's like, this is just an idea that's open to anyone. So if you want to build it yourself, go ahead.
Here's my question: how does it help you learn how to code?
It's not like...
Is it just like if then?
It doesn't teach
Yeah.
us the syntax and stuff,
yeah,
but
it's
it
if-then
teaches
gates
the
logic.
basics.
Yeah, the
Yep.
coding
If-then.
logic.
Yep.
Coding logic.
So the
Yeah.
basic logic of coding.
Okay.
So it's meant for small kids.
So it's physically teaching them the coding language.
Perfect for James.
Blue and red make purple.
Literally blue and red.
So
Are you serious?
No, it's definitely color coded. You're not.
Oh,
you're,
no,
not,
my
you're, not
readers.
you're not wrong.
You reckon a blue and purple.
Oh.
I don't know how that went back to that, but
So anyway, this part's kind of funny. Google's like, these kind of things exist, but you really need a lot of expertise. You need to know electrical engineering. You need to know hardware engineering.
We don't want to deal with that. You make it.
because you
Blah, blah,
basically have
blah.
to build them yourselves.
No,
right?
no. So this is what they're saying about things that already exist on the market.
Oh, okay.
So you need to know all the stuff so you can give it to your kids. And then you find out that you need to be a designer, a developer, or a researcher to make these kind of things for your kids anyway that they're releasing. So they say you shouldn't have to be an engineer, but it turns out, yeah, you do have to be an engineer.
Or
to be
work
able
for
to-
Google.
So they pretty much just pushed out this idea, and I don't know. Hopefully someone will take it and build it. This is why I hate Google.
In true Google fashion, they just took their money and started burying
Yeah.
it with their money.
Yeah, like
It's like, here's an idea
what's
that we'll
their
never
robotics?
do.
what's their robotics firm they just sold off? Boston
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 Dynamics.
Dynamics.
They were like, ooh, those guys.
Yeah, once they saw that their robot can be tripped by a measly banana peel,
Yep.
they're like, "What is this, Mario
We're
Kart?"
outta here.
Barry.
Have you seen the video?
Yeah, that's what I'm. That's what I'm.
It's so funny. It's just like this 4-legged robot running through a house, and then there's like 8 banana peels just sitting there in a row, and it slips.
Mario
on the-
Kart's been here.
It just eats it.
That I
funny.
only have like negative things of that one robot. It's always falling down or getting ready to do something, and then all of a sudden it like bounces back and forth. And did you guys see the story about that Russian robot that escaped for the second time
He
for 8
escaped
hours?
twice.
What?
Yeah, did you not read about that?
No.
They're building this robot with AI apparently, and
They're doing a good job, I guess.
it
to
escaped
fight
the
Rocky.
lab twice.
I'm gonna punch
Awesome.
Rocky in the face.
That's scary.
I must break out.
Soon that thing's going
Apollo
to
Creed.
take over the world.
That's
Speak-
what I'm talking.
Speaking
Talk
of
to your vacuum.
robots, do you guys watch Silicon Valley?
I need to. I've
No.
heard it's quite good.
So I can wholeheartedly recommend it if you don't mind rough language and crude jokes.
Is there nudity in it? It's a Stars show, isn't it?
There, no, HBO.
Oh,
There. What are you doing?
Is back at it again.
What?
It's the banana peel video.
Well, they can't.
the banana
see it.
peel is purely visual.
Jarron, I'm going to take your computer.
What
That's
away.
like
This
me
is
being
so
like,
great.
"Do you guys want to see pictures of Norman Reedus?
Here they are. You see that?
He's holding a baby, and the baby's gone.
It's gone.
Anyway,
It's
in a
where?
bathtub."
so if you're okay with swearsies and
It just slipped on the banana peel.
God.
See,
I've
the
never
only
seen
thing
that.
I
It's
know
quite good.
about Silicon Valley, I'm going to help you power through.
yes, thank you.
The only thing I know about Silicon Valley is the conversion chart that they
Yeah.
were making.
That was one of the
skit.
longest crude jokes that they had in the series.
Dude, it's so funny.
It's funny, but it is a long crude joke. But if you're okay with that,
They really are
watch-
slippery.
watching that, after you put the kids to bed or whatever, Silicon Valley, I can't recommend it highly.
Yeah, but we don't
enough.
have kids, though.
It's
Buzz.
true, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah.
Whatever.
Owen, kids.
Yeah.
Free time.
Yeah.
Kids.
No, you can't high five for the same
Expendable
thing.
No, we just
Come.
keep doing it.
I'm,
So-
Oh,
It
it just slipped again.
There was a really funny bit though that they used. I think on the first, it might have been on the first episode or the second episode of season 2, where one of the guys tries to kick over one of those robots and he can't do it, and he keeps falling over trying to kick the 4-legged robot.
but
over.
it's funny because that's all we know about them is just that they fall over. they
Yeah,
keep
that's all they've ever
failing.
shown.
But
Well-
that's all the robots want us to know.
Yeah.
They're sandbagging.
Day Baba.
Teabagging?
Sandbagging.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that
well,
one.
And,
What's that?
and Google got offloaded Boston Dynamics specifically. They didn't. Boston Dynamics, I guess, wasn't getting on board with management. There was a.
Oh,
it was
really?
management
Oh.
conflict. Yeah, they were like, we don't want to change our ways, and Google's like, what the crap are you guys working on? They're like, we don't want to tell you. The robots told us not to tell you. And then so
We don't want to
Google-
tell you. I mean, the robots don't
Yeah.
want to tell you.
Yes.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, and so then Google's like, well, okay, well, go do your thing, and they got picked up by somebody else. I don't
I don't know who bought them.
Yeah, but
Is it? I was going to insert some kind of joke, but I forgot what the robot's name from Terminator was.
Skynet.
Sky
Datadyne.
Hey, did Skynet pick them up?
Oh, was that you? Was that sound you rewinding the show?
Yeah.
Doesn't work that
Going
way.
back to reset the joke.
No, my readers.
Too far. Too far. It was Datadyne or Cyberdyne, by the way.
Cyberdyne.
Cyberdyne is the AI creator
Skynet.
in Skynet.
Toyota's buying Boston Dynamics.
Oh,
Tony-
okay.
That way we can see their cars slip on banana peels.
Mario Kart.
Yes.
It's all
it's on.
coming around.
It's on.
Oh, man. Is that all we got
That's
for
all we got.
gadgets and such? Games? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, this is the worst part of the day.
I know.
This
so
means it's
sad.
over.
I'm going to Subway.
Well,
That's the worst part of the day.
We hope you care.
all right. We will see you in 2 weeks.
We hope you care.
Hope you care, guys.
We got to figure out who's going to say
Yeah.
it. Just like
Okay,
maybe we'll take
Harmonize?
turns.
Should we
Yeah.
work on a 4-part harmony?
No, that is an awful idea.
We hope you care. I'll be the you. You started with you started with the we. Hope.
I want to be the care.
I get to be care, like a Care Bear.
I don't. I think It's
Is this podcast
All right.
still going?
yeah.
Here, why don't you were the
Is
one
this
who picked
still
up on it? Why don't you say it, and then we'll all find our own statements.
No, we can't
No,
all
no,
say
we don't-
something. That's dumb.
we don't- That's what?
I don't know.
Now he just dropped a swear word on the podcast.
I did not.
All right,
I heard
I'll
it.
sign up. Norman Reedus.
No. Thanks
We-
for
I'm
listening.
not talking anymore.
Thanks for listening to the Gadget Spot. We hope you care.